Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and we have more Aether Revolt information to talk about. It just keeps coming, and I really didn't expect anything this soon, but we do have some more cards to look at. Now, today's cards are going to be Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers. So just as a quick reminder, these are cards that will be standard legal. However, you're not going to find them in the regular set. They are only sold through the Planeswalker decks that are like pre-con decks, so you can find either LGS or at the big box stores. They carry those as well. We're also going to look at some other confirmations and packaging reveals that Wizards made today. Quickly, before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you look in the description below, you'll see a link to our Amazon affiliate store. If you make any purchases through any of those links, a small percentage comes back to help the channel, and that helps quite a bit. I can't thank you enough for folks who've already done that. It means a lot. Also, if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, that link's down there too as an option. Having that out of the way, let's get into today's reveals. First thing we have to look at is actually more of a confirmation than a new reveal. There was a leak a few days back that showed the championship playmat for game day as well as the 4 promo cards that will be coming out. These have all been confirmed. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the cards in this particular video because we talked about these in the last 2 videos about Aether Revolt, and I just did start the playlist on the channel. So this is the 3rd video in the Aether Revolt reveal series. So if you want to check out the other 2, by all means, they are there for you. So this has now been confirmed as the actual art and the playmat. Also, the cards, Scrap Trawler, the Buy a Box promo has been confirmed. Quicksmith Rebel, the launch day promo has been confirmed. Trophy Mage, which is the game day participation promo, confirmed. And finally, the game day top 8 promo, Yahini's Expertise, has also been confirmed, which is a pretty amazing card. We've talked about that previously. So those are all confirmed. Of course, the art you see on all of those will be the promo versions of the cards. The actual set will have different art, and we'll see those at some point down the line. All right, the next big thing we saw today was packaging. So you can see here you got your pre-release kit. It looks very similar to the Kaladesh pre-release kit. It even looks like it probably still has that kind of tab open thing. It has the bundle pack as well as the booster box here. We also got to see the art on the booster packs. So 3 different pieces of art, pretty consistent with a small set. You see Ajani, which is the card we looked at yesterday that was revealed there in the middle. And of course, you have our 2 Planeswalker decks, the Tezzeret and the Ajani deck. So let's take a closer look at these 2 Planeswalkers in particular. Tezzeret, Master of Metal, 1 black, 1 blue, and 5 loyalty Planeswalker +1. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -3, target opponent loses life equal to the number of artifacts you control. -8, gain control of all artifacts and creatures target opponent controls. Okay, so at the top of the show, I mentioned that, of course, these are standard legal, but these cards are basically designed to just be part of that pre-con Planeswalker deck. They're not really designed to be cards that are going to push their power level for standard or anything like that. So, is this card successful in that endeavor? I think for the most part it is. I feel like this is a really good commander card, which makes sense because if I'm somebody who's targeted with this product, for example, I'm a casual, maybe card player, I've played Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, I walk into my Target or Walmart, I see the Magic Planeswalker decks, I have a friend and we decide to each pick one up and try to learn Magic. Like, that's really what this product's for. But what's cool is, after I learn Magic and I'm kind of done with this pre-con deck, then if I want to get into Commander later, or maybe I go back and pick up a Commander 2016 deck or something like that, this card is very relevant for that format as well. So I think that's a pretty cool design. Now, overall, yes, I think this really excels in Commander. That +1 does intrigue me a little bit because you do have to think through that for a more competitive format and kind of say to yourself, okay, is it worth paying 6 to tutor for a potential bomb in, say, a standard environment? For example, maybe I'm playing a control deck with just Gearhulks, and tutoring for a Gearhulk doesn't seem that bad. I will say, though, I think it's a tad slow. Paying 6 to do that, and then going ahead and using the +1 ability, you're going to get that Gearhulk into your hand, but you're probably not going to be able to play it on the same turn most of the time, although there will be occasions in a control deck you might be able to. Most of the time, you'll probably have to wait another turn cycle. Is that fast enough for standard? Probably not. Now, you do have to take into account, too, that Wizards has been testing Standard, and we haven't even seen the cards that are going to be in Aether Revolt yet. So unless they made a big mistake, this probably won't be Standard competitive. And like I said, I do think it's a little bit slow to get there, but fantastic for Commander. And lastly, we have Ajani, Valiant Protector, a white, a green, and 4. Ajani, Planeswalker, 4 loyalty, +2. Put 2+1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature. +1. Reveal cards from the top of your library. And 2. Reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. -11. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature where X is your life total. That creature gains trample until end of turn. So again, much like the previous card, I feel like this is awesome in a lot of Commander decks. Like this would fit really well in like the Breed Lethality deck that we've seen recently. Actually, yesterday's Ajani would go really well in that deck too. But yeah, this feels like a Commander deck. Again, I have to ask myself though, that +1 ability to be able to tutor for a creature in a control deck, could that be a thing in Standard? Again, I just think it's a little slow. This is basically the same idea as the previous card, even though the previous card is looking for artifacts, which is a little different, but in a lot of cases in Standard, that would be artifact creatures. So in that way, these are very similar when you're looking at the Standard format. But they can be very different, obviously, in Commander, where you could go and get a lot of different types of creatures with this particular card and a lot of non-creature artifacts with the last card. So yeah, I think, again, they did a good job of designing a card that's going to be a tad slow for the Standard environment and is going to be awesome for casual play and awesome for Commander, and maybe even fun in some cube builds and stuff like that. So I do think it was successful if that's what their intention is, for sure. I do want to point out, last thing though, that art is beautiful. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that this isn't the art on the Ajani we saw yesterday. This is by Anna Steinbauer. It looks incredible. And I guess it kind of makes sense because these Planeswalker decks are going to be plastered everywhere. Like, you're probably not going to be able to go into your LGS or a Target or Walmart even for many months without seeing this Ajani plastered all over the wall. So it kind of does what they're trying to do and just have a really eye-catching piece of art to hopefully catch the eye of players who maybe have not played Magic before and get them interested into it. So I guess it makes sense having it on this product. Really looks amazing though. And that is the video for today. Another day of Aether Revolt information. Very exciting stuff. A little bit unexpected, but I'm glad to see it. Don't know if we're going to hear anything more this week. If we do, of course, I'll have a video and I'll make sure to inform everyone of what's going on. And if not, we'll continue with our Commander 2016 upgrade series. So I look forward to working on those. Actually have almost finished the next one. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks as always for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.